Hi friends, this is Susan Campfield with SueStampfield.com. I'm super excited to be here to show you these adorable pyramid boxes made into cute animals. I've done a number for Valentine's Day. So here's our little mouse, and on the back you can see pull here to open, and we're just going to pull the heart to open the panel, and inside we've got a little goodie. So I want to show you how to make these today, but let me quickly show you a couple of the other designs I made. We've got our little elephant here. On this one, to get the treat out, I actually just left the back panel off. And we have our lion. And we've got a little saying on the back that I printed off on my computer. And he has a side opening to get the treat out. And then we have our adorable little frog. And he opens the same way as the mouse does. So you pull on the heart, and inside we've got some treats. So let's go ahead and get started and make this cute project for Valentine's Day. I've got my Big Shot die cut machine here, and I'm going to use a die. It's called the Pyramid Pals Thinlits from Stampin' Up. So we're going to take our die, and you can either place it this way or this way, it doesn't matter. I'm using an 8.5 by 5.5 inch piece of cardstock, and I need to cut 2 of these to make my box, and I can easily get 2 of them out of the same sheet and have plenty of pieces left over for doing any other parts like legs and ears and tail. I can get that out of the waist piece in the middle. So I've got my die down there. I'm going to go ahead and put my top plate on and send that through. So for the mouse, I only need the 2 pieces for the box. That's all I need to cut out of my dies. It's got some parts for some of the other animals, but for the mouse I actually used some regular punches. So let me show you how to do that. I've got a scrap here of pink pirouette cardstock, and my 1-inch punch and my 3/4 inch circle punch. So the pink I'm going to punch with the 3/4 inch circle punch. This is going to be the inside of the ear. And with my 1-inch circle punch, I'm going to go back into my waist piece here and punch out the outside part of the ear. 2 of those. I recommend you do all your stamping or embellishments while the piece is flat. It's just a lot easier to work with. And I'm going to stamp. I'm going to use the Playful Pals stamp set, which has eyes and noses and embellishments and all sorts of things. Now if you don't have this stamp set, you can just grab a marker and draw the face on yourself. So I am going to go the easy route and use the stamps. Got my basic black ink pad here. So there we have our little mouse face. Let me zoom in so you can see that. There we go. And we're going to go ahead and add the ears. So I'm just going to take a little bit of adhesive here. So I switched over to some paper so that I don't ruin my stamping cushion with getting adhesive all over it. Is that making anyone else nervous? Attach my ears. One of the advantages of liquid glue is if you want to reposition it, you've got a little bit of a window to do that before it dries. And now I'm going to attach the 2 boxes together. Before I do that, I'm just going to quickly go in and punch a hole in the side with the tabs. And to punch that hole, I'm going to use a handheld punch. This is a 1/8 handheld punch. And I want to go in about 1/2 inch at least. So fairly far. You don't want to get it too close to the point here or it could tear. And this particular hole is going to be part of our closure. And if it's too near the top, it won't allow the box to close. And that'll make sense in a minute when I show you that part. But it's you can certainly punch it after the fact. In fact, when I did my tutorial, I punched it after the fact and it was just fine. If you're like things to be exact and you want them lined up, you can do it like I just did, where they're across from each other, they're lined up on top of each other. I'm going to add some liquid glue to the base. And I'm going to attach this piece on. You'll notice that I've got the 2 tabbed pieces across from each other and the 2 no tabbed pieces across from each other. And that is the correct way to put it together. So now we're going to fold up the sides and we're going to glue the side panels to the front panel. That is going to be permanent, but we're not going to glue the back panel because that's how they're going to open the box. So we've got the front of our mouse adhered and we're ready to work on the back. With the ribbon that will help with our closure, we want to go with 10 inches. And we could have threaded this through before we assembled the front. That's how I did it in the step-by-step photo tutorial. But this works too. So my ribbon piece is in there. I'm going to fold on the score lines. And if you want to put any sort of greeting on the back panel, you can add it now. Or again, I could have stamped it when it was flat. The only thing I would caution you about, if you stamp it when it's flat, double check that you've got it right side up because it looks upside down when you stamp it flat. I hope that makes sense. So there I've got my Happy Valentine's Day greeting on the inside. And then I'm going to fold up that panel and tie a bow. If you're not a fan of tying bows, you certainly could just do a knot here. They do not need to be able to untie it because this back panel is just slid under it. So all they need to do is pull on the back panel to get it to pop out. So we've got our bow there, and we can just trim those ends. And now we just want to do some sort of embellishment or piece here that can be pulled, or that will tell the recipient how to open the box so they don't feel like they have to tear it apart to get it open. To do that, I'm going to go back to my scrap of pink pirouette, and I'm going to stamp a heart image. And I'm going to punch that out with the Sweetheart Punch from Stampin' Up. You could use any embellishment for this that you want. But I'm going to just write on there, pull here to open. And then on the back I'm going to put a couple of dimensionals and I'll stick that on the back of my mouse. I'm using 2 because I want it to be really strong because it's going to get pulled on. So now when they pull on that, that's going to open it up and we'll just put our treat inside and that will be ready to go. One little extra detail you can add to the front. I just added a few of the confetti heart punch outs. I used the Blushing Bride glimmer paper and the confetti heart punch, also from Stampin' Up. To apply the hearts or to attach the hearts, I just used the liquid glue and I put 3 dots on there. And then I have a little trick for when you have little tiny things that you need to pick up. This is a toothpick, and I put some of this liquid glue on the toothpick and I let it dry. And now there's a blob of glue on there that's tacky. So now it's sticky and I can pick up things with it that are small and hard to handle, like a punched out heart. And then you can use that to just place it onto your project without getting your hands all messy. So let's just look really quickly. I just want to tell you how I did the other opening options for the other boxes. So on the lion, I punched a 1-inch hole in the side of the box before I assembled it. You want to punch that hole pretty far down so that you don't interfere with assembly of the box or to cut into the sides at all. And then I've just got Tootsie Rolls in this one. The lion parts, the fringe is actually one of the framelits that comes with the Pyramid box dies. You could also do the same effect with some fringe scissors or just your snips or your regular scissors cut repeatedly. I also did the heart confetti with this and the red foil paper. For our elephant, I actually just cut off the whole rear panel and I put a bigger treat in here. So that one's really easy to figure out how to get your treat. You don't need any notes or any explanation at all. And the ears and nose on this were other framelits in the set. And our little froggy opens exactly the same way as the mouse. Pull here to open. And inside I've got some Jolly Ranchers. Thank you so much for watching my tutorial today. I hope you have a lot of fun with pyramid boxes. There are so many animals out there that you could make. I can't wait to see what you create. Happy stamping!